if you're considered a non-essential employee or things like that, please, unless you got to go get food, things that are absolutely necessary, we understand that. But go by the guidelines that the CDC is putting out.
Yes.
And stay informed. We still have television. That's all that the news is talking about, it seems like, because there's not a whole lot of anything else going on.
And we try to steer away from that, but it seems like it rears its ugly head because, let's be honest, Bruce Barrett, that is the elephant that's in the room across the world nowadays. It truly is. But anyhow, I saw a notification there, and I made a comment, and maybe I shouldn't have went that far. But yes, please. And by the way, like I said, thank a truck driver. The next time that you're out, if you see them, or if you have friends or family members that do that job, like the people that I know on Facebook, like Flagman Mike Hare, who I've known for years. He flagged at Kenley, at Southern National, at Orange County, and go-kart races, and I know he's a truck driver. Thank you, Mike Hare. Thank you, Randy Smith. He used to flag the Pass Series before Timmy Hudson got that job, and I've known him in the arena racing USA world. He's a truck driver. If you're a truck driver out there, thank you. And most importantly, Bruce Barrett, my father, my dad. My dad is a truck driver for Cargo Transporters. Shameless plug for them. Hey, listen, they're not my uncle. My Uncle Billy, they're all truck drivers. They are still driving trucks. There's still trucks going active across the country. And bottom line is this. You really want America to stop? You want the world to stop? To have the trucks come off the road. And then we're really going to be in trouble. So we need to do our part to keep these trucks going on the road and take care of us people, for sure. Yeah.
Well, that's how we get groceries to stores. That's how we get automobile parts.
Yes, sir. You do it yourself.
You got to have that stuff. You got to have these things.
Yes, sir.
And I think right now, without question, their efforts, when it's all said and done, a lot of people need to go right back to them and say their efforts in keeping this country going and providing for its citizens is just first class, and they will be a huge part in us surviving this epidemic.
For sure.
Without question.
For sure, definitely. Okay, so let's get back to our final topic. It is in regards to the NFL. And Bruce Barrett, it is in regards to scheduling. I know you were chatting it up in our CRN communication chat with our other colleagues. And by the way, tonight we'll have the roundtable, all of our crew talking about any and everything. We had a great demo of that on Friday night. Bruce, I know you weren't able to be a part of it, but we will have everybody there tonight joining us for the roundtable, the CRN roundtable, presented by Symmetry Financial. That will be at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central on the CRN Sports Network, and then it is available for replay on podcast outlets available all over, Spreaker, Spotify. I lost damn count thinking of all of them. I written it up the other day. So maybe before I go off the air, I'll give a little spill of where everything is at. But anyhow, that's tonight at 9 o'clock. But Bruce, could we be seeing a new schedule for the NFL? Talk a little bit about what you were saying could possibly go down in our final 10 minutes of the Sports Power Hour on CRN Podcast.
Okay. Well, let's go all the way back to the preseason. We'll start there. Right now they're talking about only doing 3 preseason games.
Okay.
And then they're going to play 17. Remember last year and the late years before it was 16.
Yes.
You can even go back before the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Seattle. They were only playing 14 games. Then they added Tampa Bay in 76 in Seattle. And then they went to 16 games. And now they're going to 17 games. And then in the first round of the playoffs, which they look like it's going to be January 9th, 2021, it'll be a Saturday, they'll have 3 wild card games. They're going to go to 17 teams. And if you think about that, that's almost half the league. Maybe even better, more than half the league that will qualify for the playoffs.
So you...
Then on a Sunday, they're talking about playing 3 more wild card games, and that'll be the following on the 10th. But there is talk about making one of those Sunday games a Monday night contest.
Wow.
They're still talking about that.
But Bruce, my question's this though. Hang on, I mean to cut you off, but if we're allowing half this team, if we're going from 16 teams to I guess 8 teams in each conference to transfer to the playoffs, I mean, obviously, if you're a suck-ass team like the Browns or my Steelers or Panthers like this past year.
Careful now, Dolly's listening.
I mean, obviously you're enjoying this opportunity to extend this olive branch by the NFL to go to the playoffs, but doesn't it take the fun out of the playoffs? I mean, it's why do you think they're considering doing this?
Yeah, what they're really talking about is, say you got a team that starts off kind of slow, and then they get hot, and then they put a string, and then they miss by a game or something.
Yes,
that's what, and it's also, well, let's just this is where the rubber meets the road. It's going to be more money for the National Football League. That's just the way it is.
So is this looking to be?
It'll be more revenue for the NFL.
So Bruce, is this looking to be just for this playoff alone, just for this year with the coronavirus, or are they looking at possibly making this be the new implement for the NFL for years to come?
Yeah, well, they're talking about it being part of the collective bargaining agreement with the players. So if that goes, then it'll be for however long that collective bargaining agreement is signed. If it's like 5-6 years, and this will be part of that collective bargaining agreement.
So do you like this or not? Do you like this new idea?
Okay. Well, first off, I've never had a problem with more football. I love me some football. We go right back to the XFL, the AAF. I mean, I'm sorry, but I got more football after the Super Bowl was over. So, personally, I don't have a problem with it.
My buddy Bruce Barrett was heartbroken when they pulled the plug on the XFL. I think you were more heartbroken when they pulled the plug on the XFL than whenever they pulled the NCAA tournament.
Yes. I still have my XFL stuff on my car out there, okay? I
know you do, yes.
But I think, it could be a really good deal, because who knows, you may have some teams get together and they put down some awesome games. I mean, well, that's why we watch them, right?
Right.
We want to watch good football. The first two, the teams in each conference, AFC and the NFC, the number 1 seed will get a bye. But that team will be, the NFL, they will get a game salary because of this. I read that earlier today. And then, of course, the next week you'll have your AFC and NFC divisional rounds on the Saturday and Sunday.
Gotcha.
And then the following week, the AFC NFC championship game, and then the Super Bowl. So I think that it can. I think it'll be fun to watch. It'll be interesting to see, how Super Bowl 55 will turn out, which is scheduled right now for Sunday, February 7th, 2021. We'll have to wait and see. But I think it'll be, I think personally it might be interesting, and it may be a lot of fun. And, this time next year we'll talk about, wow, that was an awesome season.
So basically,
an awesome game and a bunch of playoff games.
So basically, Bruce, instead of it being 16 teams, 8 in the American, 8 in the National Conference going to the playoffs, now you're going to have, I guess, 12 or 16 teams basically now. It's going to be double that, basically. So it'll be 16 teams total?
7. I think it was 17 is what they were talking about.
Okay.
I have to check that. But I think
so basically, it's going to be another team on the left and the right that'll be going to the playoffs. So basically, instead of a 6 team, it'll be 7 teams. So it'll be 14 teams in total that'll go to the playoffs, pretty much.
Right.
Okay, well, maybe the little engine that could, like the Cleveland Browns or the Detroit Lions, could possibly, find a way to get off the schneid and pull it upset, go to the Super Bowl. So
you're gonna get me and you hurt, man. You keep talking about the Browns like that.
Dolly, I meant no disrespect, but it's the truth is the truth. Sorry. Wow.
Browns fans are used to it.
The Browns fans are used to it. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Hey, this is the Sports Power Hour. He's Bruce Barrett. That's Dolly in the background. She's a diehard Cleveland Browns fan. She was a big fan of Major League, too, wasn't she, whenever the Cleveland Indians had their success? Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she'll also tell you that she is a proud alumni of Youngstown State University, which won, I believe it was 5 national championships.
There you go.
4 or 5 national championships in football.
Well, at least she
actually went to school with Ron Jaworski.
At least she's rooting for something that definitely wins after all. So that's a good thing for sure. Definitely. So, hey, anyhow, our time is growing short here. Coming up tonight at 9:00 Eastern, we are going to launch the CRN roundtable. Now, Bruce, you were not a part of the warm-up on Friday, but did you get a chance to kind of watch it or listen to it and kind of see, a little idea of how it goes, pretty much? Are you ready?
Well, yeah, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a lot of different opinions.
Yes.
On different things. But I think our fans will really enjoy it because we're all sportscasters, and we follow sports, and we look at things, and sometimes we see things a little different from their point of view.
Yes, sir.
And so I think it's going to make a really, really good discussion that we're going to have tonight, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure our fans will want to be tuning in.
Now, let's give them
program will start
at 9:00. Yes, sir. I was going to say let's give them a little teaser because you were saying something in regards to the chat box about Dan Marino. Give them a little teaser for 2 hours to think about this. What was the big debate about between you guys in the chat box? Because I finally had to just say, guys, enough. You're killing my internet here. What was it about?
Well, we were talking about not only Dan Marino, but Phillip Rivers, who is now going to the Indianapolis Colts. He signed a 1-year deal to play with Indianapolis. And, of course, he's NC State quarterback there for 4 years. And
Gotcha.
I think that, we were talking a little bit about him not winning a Super Bowl, but he was probably one of the best quarterbacks to not win a Super Bowl.
Right.
And then you got Dan Marino. Dan Marino is in Canton, Ohio. His bust is right there. He's in the Hall of Fame. And he played in one Super Bowl, but he never played in the Super Bowl. In fact, I'll throw this out there. The Jacksonville Jaguars, in the first round of the playoffs, sent Dan Marino and the Dolphins home with I think it was a 63-7. I guess no way to say it, but a shellacking, if you will.
Right.
Dan Marino was the quarterback.
Oh, Dan Marino.
And I mean, I'm sorry, but the retirement party that the city of Jacksonville gave Dan Marino was brutal.
I love it.
Yeah. But
oh, wow.
Does that take anything away from what Dan Marino did when he had the Marx brothers, catching those balls for him?
But that was the Marx brothers that was doing the job for Dan Marino. Dan Marino was just one of the helping stones, if you will, in helping the Marx brothers have their success. That's why Dan Marino got the praises that he got, because why? He's the quarterback. Bottom line.
Sure.
Am I right or am I wrong?
Well, you are right. And I will say this.
Thank you.
He does have to get the ball to the receiver. Okay? That's obvious. Okay? You got to get the ball there because all I got to do is say Jameis Winston.
That's right.